There's a piece of my heart that I don't know how to restart. There's a piece of the world, and it's always falling apart. I'm estranged from my mother, I can't talk to my brothers. My father, he left in a cloud of smoke, and where he roamed, nobody knows. Gotta watch the tempo because I'm drinking Karuna coffee. It's dangerous. Dangerous and delicious. So happy Good Friday to you all. Excited to share Roger Towers' poem, The Watchman, and also his poem, A Fallen Tower, in the first collection of commissioned poetry. And Roger, I think the day after I realized that Peggy's poem had been omitted in the collection, found out that Roger's poem also had been omitted. So how could this happen, right? This is a question I asked. And the situation, I guess, is I'll just explain the process of the books. So it was July 2023 that I opened the door for commissions. And by, I think, mid-August, that door closed. We had enough commissions for the book, and I got to work. Very sort of messy process of, I guess, honing your guys' themes for inspiration for the collection. And then I had this stack of handwritten poems that I took photographs of, sent them to Baron in Kenya to transcribe them. He sent them back to me. And part of the process of a book like this, I always say in my writers' retreats, is the pause. Because when you just create something, if you commissioned a poem, those first drafts you got, that was the initial kind of like getting something into being on paper. And then as an artist, and a lot of artists resonate with this, you're too close to it to know what to do further with it. So you put it aside, you forget about it, you try not to think about it. And I didn't plan to do that for so long. I planned to do that for 5 months, and then I had 2 weeks where I planned to, foolish at the time, these plans of mice and men, to bring them to the final draft form. But what wasn't planned is my dad passing the day before his birthday last year on May 12th. So I went to the States 2 weeks earlier than I had planned, because I had this tour planned, the Heart Revival Tour, and that clearly wasn't the time to be second drafting these poems. So I never felt that space on the tour when I was in so much motion, but then when I came back I had more energy, and that's when I put second drafts of the poems together. I put together some online content. Hi Brenda, hi Lotus, hi Robin. And then it was November and February when there was further pushes in the poems, the first sort of drafts from the poems about my grandpa and dad came into being. And then it was this recent push when I got back from this last trip, this last tour to New York, that we have finally landed the spaceship. But somewhere along the way, these poems slipped through the cracks. And with so many repose periods, like when Peggy mentioned it, I was like, oh yeah, of course. I know these poems. But the process of them doesn't, to me, ever feel like creation. It's like becoming a window for the poems themselves to come in, if you have space. So, there's my explanation. And the remedy is, luckily print on demand, is we have put Roger's book in on page 15 now, in the book, The Watchman. And something I did with the Starlight Still Within Us that I'm really excited to do again is I'm going to the coast, to Costa Rica, and I'm going to put each and every poem into a bottle. So if you have a poem commissioned, it's going out to sea. That's a practice I guess I didn't do with Peons this Peons, and the Upwards we could still climb. But that's something I've done with a number of books now, and done throughout my life, is find really nice bottles to throw out to sea. And I've never heard back. I think in some I've left like an email or something, but I hope people find them and that they're treasures, because I've always, whenever I see a bottle in the sand, once I thought it was, I had found it, my message in a bottle, but it was just a Sprite label inside of a Sprite bottle. So I keep looking though. Maybe I'll find one this trip. I'm definitely going to send a lot out. I'm in the process. I'll show you. I'm collecting little bottles for the mission. Hey, no worries, Robin. I do have space today after the kirtan in the late afternoon. Would love to, check in and catch up on all the things. I know we're going to do these silent retreats in the future, so we'd also love to. Your son was interested at one time, so I apologize anytime you contact me. I get pulled into the immediacy of life and my projects, and I'm always a little bit. 2 poems, guys, somehow I missed in the collection. So art to me is a very messy process in my life. It was interesting to get like the reflection of Michelle on the tour, because I think of myself as pretty calm and with a lot of leisure time, but she's like, Luke has ants in his pants. He's go, go, go. He sits still in the morning, but then the rest of the day. And I was like, I kind of have like this idea of myself of not being so, I guess, fully loaded schedule-wise, but I guess it's things I love, so I find the energy to do it. And I have learned, you guys are catching me in my 30s. You should have seen me in my 20s. Good thing you can read my blog to find out. This is not so clear, to find out all the insanity I was up to back then. So my centering practice back then was to run like a maniac into the mountains. Probably more reflective of my life. Now, yes, I do make time every morning for that space we call practice, and I think from that calm, I can kind of keep it together and stay centered. And I was hanging out with my friend Jasper, who runs the Fungi Academy in town, and he was saying, like, we were just both talking about the practice space, and that, like, from that, we might as well, if we're doing what we love, give ourselves fully to those things. So at this stage, I apologize, Roger, that your poem was omitted. I'm happy with print on demand. It's remedied. So it's also the Amazon book sale, guys. So we are 22 right now in conceptual art, and we slipped from 8, I think is the highest it went, and then it went to 47. But it's on the rise again, guys. So it slipped a little bit, but we can push it back into the top 10. So I'm going to read Roger's first poem in the collection, poem in the first collection, rather, A Fallen Tower, written in Kasar Devi, India. I won't go off on a side road of that place, because I will talk for a long time. It was quite a journey there. And something I see in this poem is something that I think is universally true of poetry, and why poetry has always been part of human life in some way. We might say some hip-hop music, and some music has elements of poetry that makes its impact on us. But A Fallen Tower was about the death of Roger's brother. And I can really just tune in and remember the motion, like the inner motion and emotion of the ride of creating this poem. A year and a half later, I would lose my dad, I'd lose my grandpa in the same year. So I feel like poetry helps us connect to the universality of human experience where, these are still really painful journeys, but the journeys we go alone are, I think, the most difficult ones. So I think that's how this process of this first book, and now this second book, was very useful to me, to sort of have that experience through the way art pulls us into a greater and wider experience. So, A Fallen Tower, commissioned for Lane Bruce Tower by his brother Raja, August 22nd, 2022, Kasar Devi, India. The image of a fallen tree in the forest, resting below the saplings it shaded, still, noble, exposing new patches of sunlight to the forest floor. The bird song slow and careful that day. A few clouds dared to tiptoe across the sky. Adjacent trees in awestruck wonder cast their gaze below to a once towering tree, fallen in their midst. Of the same clutch of seeds, watered by the same rain, nourished in the same bed of earth, connected at a million roots, flowering together to feed the same bees, the sweetness created within them, first bark born. Dear world of incomprehensible darkness and unfathomable light, how is it we lose our brothers? How do we stand without falling in these winds of time? In what can we tell our mind about the blossoming secrets in our hearts? Dear sunlight, silent and persistent, I have heard it said that you still shine atop the storms that hide the memory of you. Life, is that you cycling through your seasons again? Mind, why go searching for a reason when you could take refuge in the ancestral shade where from a fallen tree a red reishi mushroom catches the setting sun and flashes a fraternal smile as the petrichor brings back a long-lost memory. And that's when you know it. You are as certain as one is when they glimpse truth. We carry the candles of each other. Like a tree, we watch the small wonders scurry through our many branches, some holding nests, where beaks not yet of this world are poised to break through, to soar within our ever-changing sky. Okay, so that's from my first collection, commissioned by Roger Tower. And if you're just tuning in, Rogers was also omitted in the collection. Since been remedied, and I would like to remedy it with anyone who already got the book by sending you a postcard of the poem along with Peggy Spencer's poem this next week when I'm in Costa Rica, where they have a mail system. So I'm glad that all aligns in that way. And now you have a very limited edition, a misprint, if you have one of the books without those poems. The Watchman, a poem for the Nonpareil Roger Tower. And I got to meet Roger, so in writing this poem, I got to see him in the world, and I think he left my theme pretty open when he commissioned it, so that sometimes causes the poem to be about the person in question. The Watchman, a poem for the Nonpareil, it's unparalleled, it's a French word in English, it's cool. I didn't know it. At the Thesaurus unique Roger Tower. When I imagine you, I think of you behind the wheel on a lovely stretch of Oregon highway. The first ribbon of sunrise striping the horizon, hinting at the day to come, a day you will sleep through, just off a 12-hour shift, your circadian rhythm in chaos from so many graveyard shifts. What do you dream about, watchmen, as the world sleeps? Have you memorized the canon of cricket songs? Do the afterthoughts we left in the light come to you and whirl around your mind? The simplicity of Buddha's advice was to watch. Watch your mind. See what's deep in your heart. With courage, look at the causes and effects that govern your life. Watchmen, You watched my world from a silent distance to arrive one day, to put your hands in the earth and smile to all, and still that presence walks along the garden path during subtle hours of the morning. A presence kind and inviting, like Santa's lap to true believers. Watchmen, there are children and dogs, elders and seekers who were lifted because of what you saw, what your heart was open to seeing and offering, an offering of seeing someone. And this glimpse of you seems a rare and precious truth, something we may have to pause to understand, something we may have to take deep into the mountains to consider. There's no way of knowing the good someone does in the shadows, but we can be assured those humble souls we rarely meet are not going to tell us the tales of how they are secretly upholding us all, like an army of atlases, working in tandem without knowing it by night. Like the silent bridge that carries humming cars day and night, each carrying a lifetime and world, moving perpendicular across a river current, carrying so many worlds beneath the waters. There is but one certainty in this world. All that flows must go out one day and surrender its journey to the sea. I'm very glad to be taking these poems to the ocean. There's just ended up being so much nautical imagery in the book. The guitar doesn't like temperature changes. This is not the one I'll take to the beach. So I'm not sure. Okay, I just got your comment. Janice, hi. Thank you, Janice. Yeah, I love that. Let's find it. Let's read it. You're on the line. It's going out to sea, Janice. We're throwing your poem into the ocean in a bottle. Do you remember what page it's on? I've lost my table of contents. Oh, and some pages are blown in the wind. Let's protect the pages. We'll find it. Karuna Coffee, guys, sending soon. I'll be able to send it towards the end of May. But we could sell out. We did last harvest. Okay, I mean the table of contents. 21. Here we go. A poem for Janice Fairchild in celebration of 43 years of marriage. Oh, 21. There you go, guys. So everyone who's got the book, turn to page 21. And if you don't have the book, it's the Amazon book sale today. Happy Good Friday. So great day to get the book. And thanks to everyone. Yeah, it really means a lot that people really care about this. And yeah, in visiting the final product as I'm doing, like I care a lot about this book. I love what has come into being. That's probably the best way I can say that. Not a basket big enough. I drank the coffee grains at the bottom. I like to. Like you shouldn't talk when you do it. Not a basket big enough. A poem for Janice Fairchild in celebration of 43 years of marriage. No basket can hold it. No words that can conjure it. It takes time for us to remember. We each hold different details of the decades of life spent working the earth together. The journey, of course, isn't without rocks in the road. What kind of adventure would it be without mounting mountains of adversity and perseverance until the downward slope? We know from where we stand now that the going was worth it. The lanes and avenues are framed with memories we wouldn't trade for any other way it could have been. The way between us has been woven into our steps. And there is no place on earth where to keep safe so many memories than still hand in hand, walking down the road before us together. We pray it will be hopeful and flourishing as we offer our love to the candle of trust that illuminates human hopes dancing in divine time. As the sun of our light reaches its height and begins to bring the dawn back to dusk, our prayer and hope is to step lightly on our way, that we trust the earth to hold us and open to everything moving towards us, seeing every step as perfect, the way our eyes catch seamlessly and release the smile of our light. Awesome. Well, thank you, Maureen, for getting a copy. Yeah, please take a picture with it or next to something interesting in your life. Would love to compile those. We got our first review, 5 stars. Well, rating. We didn't get a review. But you can also upload photos of your book in interesting places to a review. So thanks for having fun with me in celebration of this book being out, finally. Woo, finally. It's a longer journey than I anticipated. Some of the best journeys are that way. Yeah, I know. That's because it took 2 years, Janice. Now it's 45 years. I was a little late to the party, I guess. We could change it, but I guess it'll just keep changing, Janice, every year. So we'll never keep up. Congratulations, 45 years. Happy 111, it's 111. All right, well, my voice is kind of not warmed up, and I gotta go soon, but let's do my latest release, Dear Mary. Well, aside from the Miel and Luke album, which, yeah, is getting a lot of plays, so thank you guys for checking that out. Woo! I'm excited for you too, Annie. Dear Mary, can you hear their song? Dear Mary, can you feel their wings? I can see you, Peggy. It's working today. The angels sing. The angels sing. Dear Mary, can you hear their song? Dear Mary, can you feel their wings? Dear Mary, do you know what makes the angels sing? The angels sing. I swear there's something coming over this town. I swear there's something coming over me. Something hidden that we cannot see. Things get heavy once in a while. I keep on moving, 'cause that's just my style. I never met a minute that didn't have it in it. The power to fly. The power to fly. And we're not that far from home. And we're really not alone. We got the moon and we got the stars. The ancestors, yeah, they're not far. They live in you and breathe in me. 1,000 things we cannot see are happening quietly behind the scene. Dear Mary, can you hear their song? Dear Mary, can you feel their wings? Dear Mary, what makes the angels sing. Angels sing. I swear there's something coming over this town. I swear there's something coming over me. Something happening we cannot see. Things get heavy once in a while. I keep on moving, cause that's just my style. I never met a minute that didn't have it in it. The power to fly, the power to fly. And we're not that far from home, and we're really not alone. Yeah, we got the moon and we got the stars, the ancestors, yeah, they're not far. Thank you, Linda. Thanks, Janice, for commissioning this poem. Thanks, Peggy, for being you. Yeah, thanks for dancing in your wheelchair. That's the best kind of dancing. Shadows are falling and I'm running out of... Maybe I'll play it out. Shadows are calling and I'm running out of sleep. Keep me in your heart for a while. Keep me in your heart for a while. Get up in the morning. No, I'll just play it down like I always do. It's too high for me right now. Your horn, Linda. Thank you, Christine. Yeah, that's to make her so, yeah, overjoyed is the word. Shadows are calling and running out of sleep. They keep me in the heart for a while. For a while, it keep me in my heart for a while. When you get up in the morning and you see that crazy sun, and maybe you'll think of me and smile. And maybe you'll think of me and smile. Like us, baby, we were born to run. Rock me, mama, like a wagon. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, shadows are calling and I'm running out of sleep. You keep me in your heart for a while. You keep me in your heart for a while. I'm trying to think of if I'm looking very ponderous. How does that Bruce Springsteen start? It's hard to find it in the middle of a song. Tramps like us, we were born to run. Alexa, oh, she doesn't live here. You tramps like us, baby, you were born to run. Google, she doesn't live here. Siri, no, I should better not say Siri. It'll interrupt the live broadcast. Shadows are calling and I'm running out of sleep. You keep me in your heart for a while. Heart for a while. Keep me in your heart for a while. Girl, you know I'm tied to you like the buttons on your blouse. And maybe you'll think of me and smile. And maybe you'll think of me and smile. Shadows are calling and I'm running out of sleep. They keep me in your heart for a while. Yeah, cool. I'm always into. I like John Denver. I don't know Jim Croce so much. I'm always open to musical recommendations. What's the worst that can happen? There's a piece of my heart that I don't know how to restart. There's a piece of the world and it's always falling apart. I'm estranged from my mother, I can't talk to my brother. My father, he left in a cloud of smoking where he roamed by. They know. Something to see, I got something to find, something always on my mind. It's the calling of the light, it's the misfit after dark, it's the way your footsteps make your road where you change, you flow. There's a secret hope in the way that I cope. Clouds of smoke, come on. There's a secret hope in the way that I cope. Clouds of smoke. Calling on destiny, wherever she roams, she will not wait for me as faster as we roam. The rivers, mountains, oceans, streams, I surrender to the flow. Trying to remember, yeah, something I have known. Trying to remember, yeah, all that I was shown. Like leave a light on in these troubles. Time. You leave a light on in these troubled times. Yeah, maybe things will be At the end. It's a little light on in these troubled times. The light on in these troubled times. Maybe things will be just fine. Just fine. Alright, friends, thanks for being here. Thanks for grabbing your copy of Peons, The Deuce, The Dose, Peons 2, The Space Between Us. Amazon book sale today, as it were, so I think all books are on sale, mine included. Catch you guys around the bend.